Seconds remaining. EG's turn to ban.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the Captain's Draft 4.0 LAN Finals. We are here with EG versus Complexity, our second game of these group stages here. For Group Hippo, we just witnessed OG absolutely have a masterful performance against Pain Gaming. They will move on, and they will play up against the winner of this particular best-of-1 series. So very exciting stuff here in Washington, D.C. I am Mott with my good friend Brax. How you feeling for this All-American matchup for Game 2?
I'm feeling great. It should be a fantastic game.
Your mice is falling on the floor. Everything's going crazy here. This is going to be a good one. We have the interesting thing about this one, I think the thing that most people are ready for is EG. The new roster. You've got Misery, No More Universe, a mainstay on EG's team for the longest time, essentially. He's gone now.
Everyone wants to see. Everyone wants to see EG's new lineup, see how they do.
The Sumail offline, as it were.
That's right.
So he's been practicing this, but I mean, how ready is he going to be realistically against a team like Complexity, who are actually doing fairly well at the last summit that they participated in? They're one of the better North American teams. I mean, how realistically prepared is Sumail and the rest of EG going to be here against Complexity?
It's hard to say. I have no idea. EG were kind of on the decline recently. They made some roster changes. Complexity was doing very well.
Yes.
This could be a very good match.
And I'm excited. It is just this one-game series, so anything can happen. Looking at the bans, we do have the Morphling, although he has been nerfed a fair bit. Beastmaster was strong at one point. There's still plenty of good heroes in the pool. Medusa, of course, still probably pretty strong. I mean, what do you think about Medusa now in this current meta here?
She's fantastic.
Yeah, you think so still?
Yeah, especially in a pool like Captain's Draft where there aren't a whole lot of counters to heroes like Medusa. So there's Nyx Assassin in the pool and any other potential mana burners. I guess if you want to count Invoker, kind of, keep it light with Mana Leak. It's alright. It's not great.
I mean, Complexity ban on Anti-Mage instantly. Maybe they have an idea of what they want to do with the Medusa, but...
When you think Complexity, do you think Medusa? I certainly don't.
You really? Yeah. You're not thinking?
I mean, it's just...
Not a hero they play that often?
The way they like to play the game doesn't really feel suited for Medusa's playstyle.
I think that's fair.
They probably like to play against the Medusas and run them over.
5 seconds remaining.
So we'll see if that is going to be picked up by Evil Geniuses, and we'll see where everybody moves in terms of the roles, if they're going to keep them what everybody's been talking about. But looking at the heroes available, in terms of like support heroes especially, is what I'm looking at first right now. There's not a whole lot, actually. You have, like, a couple, but a handful, if you will, but that's about it.
The ones that stand out to me are Rubik and Winter Wyvern.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, too.
You're very standard.
The Z-Freak Wyvern, as it were. I'm not sure if he's been playing it or if Kyle's been playing it recently, but...
Dire team pick.
Shadow Fiend will come out for EG.
First pick, Shadow Fiend, huh?
Yeah. This is going to be very interesting to see how this goes. So we were talking... It's potentially Fear in the mid lane, right? I think that's what people have been talking about, what the roles have been announced as. Or
I've got absolutely no idea.
Information.
We're going to find out, Mott.
This is so we'll just go through the draft and not know who's playing what role, and we'll figure it out as we go, I suppose.
Yep.
But he's a pretty good mid laner in his own right in terms of legendary players and what he's accomplished. So we'll see what everybody grabs, and it is going to be the Winter Wyvern like you talked about for Complexity. So nice little grab for them to start things off with here.
What other big heroes stand out? You were talking about the Beastmaster. He's also very good against Shadow Fiend in the sense that SF relies on BKB to get his ultimate off later on in the game. They have Winter Wyvern and Beastmaster to interrupt that.
Yeah.
And it usually is the Wizard Shadow Fiend build, right? The Spellcaster.
Yeah.
That's all we see nowadays.
That's what everybody's been going for with the spell amplification talent being very strong at this point.
Yep, the cooldown reduction at 25 is disgusting as well.
It's insane. So when you say spellcast, you mean like Yule's type of build, or what else do they?
I just mean it's raise focused.
Raise focused. Okay.
Yep.
That's what. Yeah, I mean,
10
because there's like the
seconds
right click
remaining.
side of the talent tree as well, but we've seen all the raise
5
talents
seconds
being taken
remaining.
usually. So
It's funny how that works. One side's a little too strong, and then the other side never gets played.
it's like the Ember Spirit spellification talent, right?
Yeah.
Sort of the similar thing, I suppose. But we'll see if he does go for that. But as of now, they're looking for their second pick as the Queen of Pain has been grabbed by Complexity. And that should be the matchup we're looking at here, potentially. Shadow Fiend versus Quap Mid.
Yep.
EG's
It's one of these matchups where it
turn to
snowballs
pick.
heavily in favor of the hero. Nyx Assassin can mana burn the Queen of Pain to offset that advantage, and then attempt to secure him some last hits like that. But of course, Winter Wyvern rotating in with Queen of Pain, blinking on Shadow Fiend. It's a dead Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, he's just going to get run out, essentially.
Yeah. In the early parts, sure, you can mana burn Queen of Pain, but you
10
can't really
seconds
protect him too
remaining.
well later on.
Yeah. Quap should be able to
Team
survive
pick.
usually with the blink available as well, so he should be fine. Witch Doctor for Evil Geniuses, again, this is not the biggest support pool. There's a few available, mostly intelligence heroes, but they're going to pick up the Witch Doctor instead. Cask, pretty strong, but I'm not sure. I
Good
mean,
in lane.
10
Yeah,
seconds
I
Real
guess
good in
that's
lane.
true. You forget about how good Witch Doctor can be in lane sometimes.
5
Especially when you look at the
seconds
offlane
remaining.
pool, right? You have like Axe, Beastmaster. What else is there really? Timber. There's actually like no offlaners in this pool. Earthshaker, Witch Doctor owns all of them. They're all the
Yeah.
melee strength heroes, and Beastmaster has summons as well.
I'm trying to think what they want to play in the offlane for Moo, and of course I have no idea what they're going to grab for Sumail if he is in fact playing in the offlane.
Dire team pick.
But Earthshaker. Do you think that's a Moo hero in the offlane for Complexity?
I feel like I don't know. I'm really not sure. It might be just because the hero pool is not fantastic, but
right.
Melons is he's quite the Earthshaker player.
I
Big
mean,
fan
that's
of
the
hero
thing
too.
is there is the
10
Beastmaster.
seconds
That's
remaining.
a number one Moo hero, honestly, or at least
Yeah.
he used to be. I'm not sure if he still plays it all that often,
5
but you
seconds
think about
remaining.
Beastmaster, you think about Moo, he's probably one and the same in terms of what he can accomplish on that hero. So,
Yep, very true.
and we don't really see Earthshaker all that much anymore to begin with, right?
No, he definitely got phased out.
A couple of nerfs potentially, a lot of
Yep.
changes to him.
The Echo Slam one was
The Echo
really
Slam,
big.
it kind of hurts. It kind of hurts. Makes it a lot harder to get things going. So we will see as we have 1 minute and 35 seconds left. What are we looking for then? Potentially an offlaner for Complexity, potentially an offlaner for EG, not to mention. So we're looking at safe laner for both teams for sure, or rather just a carry player or carry hero in general.
I think the Shaker might be support, and they're going to pick it off lane on Complexity.
Yes.
Either way, we're going to see which it is. I'm not sure what exactly, but
Right.
we should know after this.
And these drafts go so much quicker without the other three bands.
They do, don't
in
they?
Captain's mode. You have the first three bands, and then it's just picking straight on through.
It
So
usually takes like 10 minutes.
it's like a completely different style of drafting for both of these teams in terms of what they have to think about. And,
Yeah.
and you can't even really, we were talking to some of the players, you can't even really scrim it because most people don't want to scrim Captain's Draft. It's just too random, right?
EG.
It's very difficult.
Practice is just playing pubs, basically, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much what they've been doing.
Yeah. Okay, so Beastmaster comes out. Now we know exactly what's going on Complexity's side. Beastmaster off lane, Shaker, Winter Wyvern support duo, Queen of Pain in the mid lane.
So this is what we were talking about. This is a Moo hero.
Yep.
I mean, it makes sense.
There's
10
a lot to
seconds
watch out
remaining.
for the Shadow Fiend. Like, Beastmaster, he's
5
pretty strong in lane.
seconds
You don't
remaining.
really want to leave him alone, especially with a hero like Witch Doctor, but at the same time, you have to help mid lane out as well. Because Earthshaker can come in and Fissure, Winter Wyvern can give him the Arctic Burn.
Yeah.
So, you kind of have to pick and choose who to defend in this game.
And it's going to be interesting. That's Shadow Fiend, and they definitely want to get him off to a good start. But now the question is, what do EG go for? Again, we talked about the Medusa. It might be a good game for it here in terms of mana burn. There's not a whole lot available. And if EG wanted to go that route, they certainly could. But they already have a Shadow Fiend. I don't even know if you would want to put it in the safe lane if you picked it up.
Yeah, I don't think you'd want to. It gives too much control to the Beastmaster way in the lane.
Turn to pick.
Oh, man.
Dire team
What a
pick.
pick. Then the axe coming out as well. Is this going to be the Sumail axe in the off lane? We will wait and see. We have one last pick for Complexity. Woo. Talk to me about the axe and the Ursa picks here for EG.
I mean, the Ursa's just good in lane against the Beastmaster. Beastmaster used to be pretty good against Ursa
10
because you'd have
seconds
high levels
remaining.
into the boar, but now it has such a big cooldown. Witch Doctor. All he has to do is
5
cast it and it'll
seconds
die.
remaining.
Yeah.
and it's actually worth using now just because of how much mana it costs for Beastmaster. So it helps them protect Shadow Fiend a lot more, right? They can now dedicate a lot more resources with their support heroes to help check runes, help defend him against the ganks from Earthshaker and Winter Wyvern. And then it's also, with the Axe, it's another offlaner that you don't really want to leave alone against most of these heroes. Right, he can cut the wave if he's solo, or if he's even against like just 2 heroes, because Winter Wyvern has a super long downtime between Arctic Burn. Shaker doesn't do anything. Morphling picked up, okay.
Wow.
This hero was nerfed. Many people say completely destroyed.
Yeah,
Unplayable.
It was like it went from 0 to 60 real quick with that nerf. The hero was great, and then all of a sudden he gets destroyed by pretty much one patch. You can't attribute shift now while you're stunned.
Yep.
You can still do it while, like, if you activate it beforehand, obviously.
Yep.
Waveform attack, or rather waveform damage has been reduced as well.
At least in this game, the stuns you can see it coming, right? Like the projectile from the Witch Doctor cast coming out. Impale takes a long time to come out. Axe Call, same thing.
Yeah, I mean, maybe with a Vendetta from the next Assassin for Misery might be a bit better in terms of getting an Impale off, or Sumail has a Blink Dagger, and then it's a lot harder for Chessie to use that attribute shift. So
yeah, it's just one of these things that's been in the game for so long. You get so used to it.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even imagine playing without that mechanic anymore, honestly.
Yeah. It's very strange. Morphling in general is just so weird with the new Morph Ultimate as well. I guess it's not really new anymore, but all right. It is the Sumail Axe, the Fear Ursa, and the old standby of Arteezy's Shadow Fiend, so he's going to be on a very comfort hero, which I like a lot. I think this is a good choice for EG in this particular game.
Yep, I like the lane setup from Complexity. I feel like Beastmaster applies a decent enough amount of pressure, even without having the boar, to like where the Witch Doctor, he wants to stay there. He wants to sit there and zone him. That opens up Complexity to make moves on the mid lane with Queen of Pain.
Oh my god.
Got some great names.
Bulba.
Bulba's everywhere.
There's 3 different iterations of Bulbas. There's a picture of Bulba.
He's figured out how to clone himself.
Oh my god. Nice meme. Real well done there, guys. We're going to get into the game. It is game 2, of course, of the 5 games that we have today. EG and Complexity trying to figure out who is going to play up against OG in our next matchup. And this is probably one of the biggest stories, is what EG is going to do with Sumail in the offlane. How well is he going to play? Right now he's heading into the safe lane. He might play a solo safe lane position while the rest of them go into the offlane, maybe do some aggressive tri-lane shenanigans for EG, or they just try to dodge whatever Complexity lanes are going to be. And we will wait and see how this pans out. But for now, just kind of each hero divvying up and heading to their respective lanes, if you will.
Yep, it's a good approach to the Morphle, who typically gets the attribute shift to level 1, so his level 1's completely useless against multiple heroes.
Yep.
But they did scout Sumail as he was walking down into lane, I'm pretty sure.
Is this supposed to be like this? This Morphling, click on Morphling real quick.
30 seconds to battle.
Maybe I think you have, no, it's just me. Look at this.
Oh boy.
I don't know what's going on here.
Your Dota's all messed up.
Yeah, it's not happy. I think maybe it's something to do with Lairth or something. I'm going to blame Buka for this. This is a him issue for sure.
Shifting the blame onto Zyori TV.
That's right. Any complaints, make sure you tweet him at Zyori TV on Twitter, please.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
It means a lot to us.
It really does. It's very important.
He's in charge, so we just listen to him.
Yeah, we just follow his directions.
He's the big man speaking to us in the ear.
Exactly. So we will have the EG squad. They've got Arteezy at Bounty Rune, and Misery picks up 1 as well, but Complexity will grab 2 of their own. Zefric will start in the top lane on the Wyvern, blocking the wave, making sure they can get up there. Chessie's actually already moving down towards bottom. He does not want to deal with that top lane, but we'll see if EG respond accordingly and move this Ursa down bottom as well, or if we just keep the lanes sort of stock standard that we have right now.
Yep, Misery pulling the creep wave away from top lane too. I think Afu was the first person I saw to do this consistently on LFY at TI.
It feels like everybody's doing it now.
Yep, now it's become completely normal, happens every game.
I think Matama Man tweeted about it. He said how to be an offlane player, and like tweeted at
It was a good guide.
Yeah.
Yeah, all you gotta do is pull wave, guys.
Full wave, get your level 2 win game or something like that.
Yep. Look at this tri-lane out in the mid lane from EG. They understand where the carry is.
Arteezy, they know, is going to lead them to the promised land. And Limp, he's level 1, he has Shadow Strike. He needs to be a little careful, he's taking some harassment crit, but this is going to secure Arteezy's early game, which is very important. Already up to 6 Necromancer stacks. He has a Wraith Band along with it, but obviously this will make maybe a few of the other lanes a little bit harder. Although Sumail's having a pretty good time as well. He's 5 last hits at this point.
Yeah. They actually can't do anything to him. These heroes don't deal enough damage to stop him from just pushing the wave.
And he's just going to spin, and he's going to run up at them, and they're just not going to be able to do anything.
Yep.
8 tangos. He's going to have a Triangle Boots pretty soon. He'll be fine, honestly. He has no issues right now.
These lanes are a disaster for Complexity. Morphling, sure, he's going to farm, but Axe gets everything he wants.
So, do you just switch the lanes again, or are you already committed? Ooh, look at that call. Look at how aggressive he gets a spin onto Kyle. He gets 2 spins, 3 spins. He needs 1 more auto attack. The Fisher comes out. Kyle has to use the Fisher defensively, and now he has to leave. They will use the mana burn onto Chessie, and Sumail already super aggressive. I know you're supposed to be on Axe, but man, he got 3 spins, almost bringing Kyle down for solo first blood.
Yeah, and that's just, look at him. He's just going to sit there behind the wave and just cut the creeps.
This is in the off lane. Man, Sumail is just, he's in there.
He's owning it. And this is kind of the story for all of Complexity's lanes at the moment. We have Ursa against Beastmaster in the top lane. Sure, Beastmaster had a lot of early free CS because of the Wyvern, but now...
Look at Sumail. Look at this. He's pulled into the camp to get as many spin procs as possible. They're going to try to chase him down. There's the Arc to burn. The Fisher will block him in. This might be a kill. He stayed a little bit too long trying to get some spins. They'll go for the call TP. The Impale trying to keep him alive, and the Centaur Conqueror adds Stomp on cooldown for 7 seconds. They will get Kyle the last hit, but they have successfully pushed him out of lane. But Fear dives onto the Tier 1 tower and gets first blood on Tamu in a 1 versus 1 matchup. My God. It's good that he got that because he only has 4 CS to the 14 that Mu has.
Yep, the Wyvern started up top, so Ursa couldn't really last in the beginning of the game, but now advantage is completely gone. And look at mid. Queen of Pain has 5 last hits. Shadow Fiend has max souls.
This is a disaster for Limp at this point.
Yep. Once this happens, Queen of Pain feels quite useless. A lot of her strength comes from being able to pressure early on in the lane phase, but look at this. Witch Doctor, he's the real doctor. He's healing Arteezy up. Yeah. Has regen for days as well.
He's the medic at this point. Yep. Just give me that Buddha Restoration. Limp, oh my God, the double raise. Meanwhile, Chessie, they'll get the kill onto Misery down bottom. Looks like Misery just out of position potentially. Sumail has rotated back in the lane. They've rotated all 3 heroes down bottom for Complexity, so they will secure that kill. But we'll keep our eyes peeled on mid where our team continues to get farmed. Cast coming out, another raise will hit. The cast will continue to bounce and almost bounces again. And if it did, Limp maybe dies there to the second raise, and perhaps the third if they can get it. But no such luck. However, he is forced back Brags to his fountain where he is going to have to heal. He's only at 6 CS now. He's already having a tough time. It's an unmitigated disaster for Limp right now.
Yep, the Queen of Pain is picked to be able to pressure Shadow Fiend. And then now once you're playing all these musical lanes, you don't have the best support heroes to pressure SF. All of a sudden you end up in this complete garbage situation where Queen of Pain can't even last hit against SF. There's always a hero sitting in the mid lane protecting him too, so you can't gank him. It's just a nightmare. But look at bottom lane.
They're going to try to make something happen here with the Arctic Burn. They've got the Enchant Totem. He's going to use the call. They avoid it. He has Fisher available for Kyle. Spins coming out plus Battle Hunger. Can he get another spin? Kyle, he's actually going to stay alive as the Fisher comes out at the perfect time. And plenty of damage done from Chessie and Z-Freak. So while Sumail is getting a lot in that bottom lane, he will finally get dropped by this Complexity tri-lane.
This is the only real lane they can do anything, it feels like. All these other lanes feel like complete dead lanes where they just can't fight at all.
They were getting plenty of CS from Mu in the top lane, and he's still ahead of Fear, but Fear has caught up significantly after he got that kill. And Misery might look for an Impale, and Axes will come through. We also have something being set up in the mid lane for Complexity. We'll keep our eyes there, but now they're looking for the Impale. They're going to have it. And it's going to be the Earth Shock, the Mana Burn coming in, Overpower to follow up. Fury Swipe starting to stack up. Great blocks from Misery, but he doesn't have another Impale for 6 seconds, so not enough to get the kill. Moves a little too tanky, plus the Belt of Strength, also keeping him up a little bit longer. So good attempt there. He will walk back into the Tier 1 tower.
Yep, maybe if he had the phase boots, he actually bought them in base instead of at the side shop. You can still buy them from the side shop, right? I'm not crazy.
No, you're not. I know they changed the lie. They didn't change that.
Okay, I was saying.
Are you talking about regular boots or phase boots?
Phase boots.
No, you can't buy phase boots. Sorry, I thought you meant regular boots.
Oh, okay.
They changed that.
What a shame. He actually would have had a kill up top if he was able to do
it's just that you can still buy trends, which is weird. I just don't know why they changed the phase. I don't know. I guess it's fine. I'm sure Ice Frog knows. I'm not gonna question his methods. But as expected, Arteezy continues to garner an advantage in this mid lane, a 3,000 net worth lead, or rather, he has 3,000 net worth at this point. He's ahead.
Queen of Pain's level 4.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's not good at all.
That is, he has 2 null tallies. He's trying to get a range route. This is Poverty Queen of Pain if I've ever seen one.
Yep. When this kind of thing happens, Queen of Pain can kind of come back at 6 if they can kill Shadow Fiend. with a gank or anything like that, but if he gets mana burn once or twice, won't have mana at all.
Arteezy will trying to get Arctic Burn. And now Smail's coming in and Kyle has to run. He gets the call off in time. There's the Battle Hunger. Race comes out, rain drop, but he's dead to the Battle Hunger one way or the other. He will get dropped down. And Smail will do it with an auto attack. So just a little bit too aggressive of an evasion for Complexity, and it will be a turn for those few heroes for EG. Well,
it looks worse than it is, right? Look at the gold lead. It's only less than, well, it's only 1K-ish. So it's not that bad.
right.
At the same time, you feel like Complexity can't really make moves, especially around the mid lane. And Shadow Fiend's just comfortable jumbling now to get mystery experience.
I mean,
some comp. Got something.
I'm going to try with a Fisher here. They already used the waveform. Fear is, he can get out of here with his phase boots. He's pretty speedy. Plus he has Earthshock and Enrage, which makes him tanky. So he might survive this. They have another Fisher, an 8-inch. Totem will miss. There's the Enrage coming out. And he also dodges the waveform damage with the Enrage. Nicely timed from Fear. And that 3-man gank squad isn't going to accomplish anything here. And EG will survive yet another day on this Ursa.
It looks so desperate.
Yeah.
You know, they really, really want to be able to secure a kill anywhere, and they just can't make it happen.
I mean, you've got an experienced lead right now. You've got plenty of net worth on EG, especially Arteezy and Fear, who are up there. Chessie's doing well, but he's going to have to do a lot of work in this particular game and getting back into it. Moo rotates in, and that looked like another desperate play, but there's a ward that scouts him moving up from this hill.
Trying to make anything happen with Roar because they desperately need to tip the scales in one of these lanes, otherwise it's going to keep going the exact same way.
I mean, it just gets worse and worse. And luckily for me, I don't have the net worth indicator on mine because of layers, but you could see it is a 2K lead at 8 minutes. That's significant, but it's not, you know, completely out of control just yet. For
the problem is the lead is growing.
Exactly.
Right. They need to stop that somehow.
They're going to look for Sumail in the bottom lane with Moo and Z-Freak, but Sumail is level 7, and against Z-Freak, he can get caught pretty easily. Plus, no Cold Embrace, and Sumail does so much damage. They have to run away from him and still try to kill him at the same time. Look at one spin, the Battle Hunger already doing some work. He has the call if he wants to try to dive. He's looking for Z-Freak instead. Another spin call just misses. Animation not quite there in time, but you can see he's just bullying these two heroes, and he's solo right now. This allows him to go for something mid. However, they're going to find an indifferent for Kyle. The Enchant Totem coming in. They'll jump at the Fisher, comes out the Screamer Pain as well. The Voodoo Restoration. Sonic Wave hitting onto 2. They have cast back up in 1. They need the Splinter Blast. They'll find it, but it's not enough damage. And Crit now, he's the one caught out and killed. But can they turn this around? The cast will continue to bounce, but they will not find it on Kyle. And Complexity will be able to get back up to the high ground. Yes, they get a kill on a support, but it is just a support for them here, Brax.
3-man rotation with Sonic Wave for Witch Doctor. Not ideal.
We got him, boys.
But it is desperate, right? It's something. SF has to go heal. Queen of Pain catches up a bit in experience and gold. So it's something, and they need that.
Yeah, I mean, they need anything they can get at this point. This is before Misery has his level 6, obviously. Next Assassin Vendetta is going to be big. They missed the Impale onto Moo. He still might be in trouble. Kyle looking for a Fisher that stops him from progressing any further. But, yeah, I mean, Sumail is bullying these people. I mean, he's like 4th in net worth. He's actually going for Vanguard first, interestingly enough, instead of going straight for Blink Dagger. But he's going to be very tough to kill. They just won't have enough damage at this point. And, by the way, they went max Wild Axes on Moo. I'm not sure if you saw that.
Yep.
Which is very interesting.
I think it's pretty normal.
Is it?
So I'm not positive, but I've seen it before.
I've seen a lot of Call of the Wild, but that was like the last patch before 7.07D. I thought axes were really good when the new patch first came out, when Dueling Fates first came out, and you had the damage amplification. Fisher coming out onto Crit. He was trying to grab a Bounty Rune, obviously not successful in doing so. And EG, they're getting plenty of room for both Fear and Arteezy. Arteezy especially has just been in the jungle, raising camps. And he's up to 35 Necromancy stacks.
Yep. See, the thing is, they can't go to gank him because they just, there's nowhere to go, right? They can't even leave their lanes at this point. Queen of Pain has to play catch up, wait for Sonic Wave to come off cooldown. Winter Wyvern and Earthshaker, not the highest damage duo. So even if they find him, what can they really do?
Right. He has enough Sonic Wave.
They just have to bring the numbers and they can push.
That's exactly what EG are doing now. They're going to raise the wave. They have Sumail nearby.
Siege creep is up too.
Misery is Vendetted up. He's still going to be Vendetted for quite a long time. He's only halfway through his duration. He can try to find a stun on Glimp and maybe secure this kill. Ooh, good blink just in time. He sees Arteezy trying to dive the tower. He knows there must be a Nyx Assassin. He actually was under the tower and he was spotted by the Vision, I believe. So he was able to blink out in time. Move rotating, looking for a war, might find Rizuri, and he gets off the spike carapace in time, but still in a lot of trouble. The wild axes, the Necrobook 1. That's a big kill to start off this fight, but now Z-Freak's the one getting chased down instead. Up under the high ground with the Arctic Burn, now they're going to blink it with what they want, a Sonic Wave. They have the Fisher, Arteezy's in trouble. Wander's is coming out, they want this kill, the Sonic Wave blows him up, and that will be a big 2-0 advantage there for Complexity in that fight. And at least Fear, though, in the meantime, continues to push bottom with Helm of the Dominator.
Both teams still pressuring side lanes as that happens, but that's a massive kill. They finally managed to take down Shadow Fiend. Look at Morphling's net worth all of a sudden doing very, very well.
Yeah, wow. All misses from Sumail again. Not quite there in time. No Blink Dagger. He just built his Vanguard, so ways away from that Blink Dagger.
Yep. There's going to be a big window where EG lack catch, right? We see Nyx Assassin running around Invis from time to time, but still, it's not reliable.
Right.
If there's a Sentry Ward or if it's too deep or fail misses, it's just not going to happen. But at the same time, it lets Axe push these lanes out super aggressively without being in danger at all. So it helps him play more like a core hero rather than initiator.
Yeah. Still needing that Blink Dagger, though, then they can really start getting things going. But having Arteezy die is a giant advantage for Complexity. It's still in 2K lead for, EG at this point. But Moo is starting to get back into it. He already has his Necro 1. He's building into now a Medallion. You saw the Necro 1 do some work. They're going to lose this Tier 1 tower, though. Whether or not it gets denied remains to be seen.
Yep, this is not defendable at all.
It's just dead, yeah.
And once these Tier 1 towers drop, they have to worry about Ursa doing Roshan. Helm of the Dominator creep can tank Roshan forever, basically.
Where is his Dominator creep? Have you seen it?
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
He had it on cooldown for a bit. I don't know what happened to it, though. So, anyway, that's not important. What is important is that they continue to gain this advantage, down 2K, and they continue to take towers, both Tier 1 bottom and mid taken down. Obviously, the next logical progression would be into that top Tier 1. Like you mentioned, Roshan always a factor with this Ursa as well. And we'll see if Complexity can try to find their own tower or maybe a pick-off or two. They're starting to get some room for Jesse, who's now building the Lincoln Sphere. And again, he can carry this game, but he's going to need room to work here in terms of getting his items and whatnot.
Yep, both teams are making a lot of moves, but they're still farming lanes. Right, when you look at EG, they're not overreacting, they're just out-pushing lanes, farming 2 out of 3 lanes, trying to play the map game Complexity. Like they need to heavily commit for towers right now. They're committing to this Tier 1.
Yeah.
And at this, it just gives them a window for Roshan. Ursa has a creep, he's tanking Roshan's gonna die super fast.
Yep. Centaur Conqueror Stomp, or rather Centaur Conqueror will help tank it up. They have Blue Restoration.
That's the problem with bringing so many heroes down to the bottom lane for that Tier 1 tower. It's just, it becomes really obvious when you see only Morphling hitting the tower that heroes off the map. You just know who's there. They're not showing mid or top, so Roshan's.
Here doesn't even need to use Enrage. Just grabbing himself the Aegis. They leave an Arcane Room. And they might work on this Tier 1 tower top. And the first thing they need to do, though, is backstab and try to defend this Tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. You can see Misery is coming in.
Yep, there is a sentry.
There's a sentry very close. He's walking right on the outside now. They've spotted him. Moo thought about going for a ward, decided against it. And Misery knows there's a sentry there, considering there's a range creep hitting him. So he has a pretty good idea of what's happening right now. However, this allows Complexity to get the hell out of there and stay safe.
So Aegis on Ursa now, and he's close to Blink Dagger, 100 gold away. That's when it gets bad. That's when he can just freely jump in with the Blink Dagger and Aegis, force all these spells to come out.
God, Sumail is taking a giant stack right now that will give him his Blink Dagger and a little bit more on top of it, too.
Alright, so they just hit all their item timings. Blink Dagger on Axe, Blink Dagger on Ursa, Aegis complete, too.
So it's pretty much time to go.
Yep.
Blink would be great if they had it now and looking for Limp, but they're not going to find him. And again, still pushing bottom. This is good for Complexity. They only have 2 heroes here, trying to put some pressure on this Tier 2 tower. But they have found Limp, and Fear jumped in. They actually had the Centaur Conqueror Stomp ready. I'm pretty sure he just waited for the Quap to blink it, and he Centaur Conqueror Stomp. That's actually insane.
It was
I wish
very
I saw
nice
that.
played. He ran in the mid lane, faked out the clap, and then Centaur was behind him.
That's nuts.
Yep, and look at this. Now he's got a wagon, too. Siege crew.
They can really start pushing if they want to.
It's funny to think that the game, a lot of teams revolve around these siege creeps before they actually want to push, you know? Yep, 5 minutes comes out, let's go. 10 minutes comes out, let's go.
Yeah.
It feels very impactful. Up top, Z-Freak might get vision in some raises.
I think Kyle is going to be dead. There's the call. Winter's Curse keeps Arteezy there. They actually don't have enough damage to kill Kyle yet. They didn't get any spins, really. He's still in trouble. There's the Echo Slam onto 2. Crit getting low. Arteezy actually took down Z-Freak on the back lines. There's the Calling Blaze. And despite them Winter's Cursing Arteezy and trying to find something, Kyle couldn't really help out with his Fisher because he was the one that was called. And they're going to turn this into a Tier 1 tower very easily for EG.
Yep, Jesse had his TP canceled in the bottom lane too. Misery, Scatternut, and Vendetta managed to stun him, but honestly, you can't stop this push at all from EG. I don't think there's any way they can fight the double blink daggers and the Aegis at this moment.
No,
They just need to keep farming.
it's really difficult at this point. And there's still a ways away from this Aegis timing. It's 2 minutes before. I think actually more than 2 minutes before this Aegis is gone.
Are they close to anything that's going to change the outcome of these team fights?
Maybe the Lincoln Sphere, but even that isn't really going to help you that much. I mean, yeah, Chessie's not going to die. He hasn't really been dying in the first place.
I mean, look at this up top. Fear can just blink in casually, and they can't really use too much on it because he has that Aegis.
EG are just straight up running at complexity right now, trying to take down the towers. Fear's getting low. He still has the Aegis. Doesn't want to use it just yet. The Voodoo Restoration will keep him alive for now. Splinter Blast onto RTZ doesn't do anything. And this is going to be a tier 2 tower. And the only thing Chessie could do is just farm bottom. And in the meantime, Misery's also dealing with mid too, so Moo is just getting run at. RTZ has an SNY, the perfect run at you item. Sumail trying to find the Calling Blade. There's the Battle Hunger. He won't dive the tier 3 tower though. Coming in from behind is going to be another target. It's Limp. They know where the Quap is. There's the Impale. It's going to hit one race. They're going to find a second as well. Is it going to be enough Spike Carapace? Not going to be procced as, of course, Limp doesn't use the screen or anything. He just blinks on out, so he will survive at the very least.
What a shame. Misery didn't have his mana burn up. It was still on cooldown from before. It would have been enough damage to finish him off, but
yeah.
Still, EG, they're just rolling down lanes from tower to tower. Complexity can't stop them at all. Lincoln Sphere is pretty much done on Morphling, but you're right, I feel like it's not going to change anything at all.
No.
They still need more. But
Maybe like a shotgun maybe went afterwards, like an Ethereal Blade for Chessie.
So in 5,000 gold they can fight?
Exactly. That's the problem, right?
That is a big problem.
I mean, maybe you go for a cheaper item just because you know you're going to lose all of your towers if you wait any longer, but
it's quite grim.
Yeah, it certainly is. You're looking for a good Winter's Curse, perhaps a Sonic Wave and an Echo Stem to follow it up. You need the really perfect team fight for complexity, considering they're down this much gold, 10,000. Moo is going to be called out. Jump in, there's the call. And we'll get off the Cold Embrace and the Winter's Curse, but RTZ should be fine. Fear is on the back line, just chomping down Kyle. And we'll take down Moo first. Kyle will also get dropped by Fear. Looking for another, it's going to be Z-Freak getting chased down. He's trying to juke and jive. His Arctic Roar actually up in 6 seconds. Nice juke, but it's only going to keep him alive for a moment longer. Call is there. They will use it. Double kill for EG's Fear, and a dominating spree for them as well. So 3 dead, and EG are trying to just put the finishing touches on this game as they work on this tier 3 tower in the mid lane.
This game is a massacre. It fell, feels like it became so difficult so quickly.
Right.
Roshan died, 2 Blink Daggers picked up immediately afterwards. I don't know what they can do, honestly. Like, Shaker Blink Dagger is probably their best bet at being able to take team fights.
I mean, the only thing Chessie's been able to do is just been split pushing at this point. Yeah. Sonic Wave hits onto Fear. He still has the Aegis, surprisingly enough. It's actually going to be dropped finally. But Chessie now called up. Still attribute shifting. Going to get raised twice. Pretty tanky, of course, with the attribute shift. Fear's going to back himself up. They've taken the tier 3 and the melee racks. Fear has the Enrage. He's going to use it. Going to try to turn on the Limp instead. Sumail gets the call right onto Chessie, but not onto Limp. And Fear now might fall. Echo Slam coming in. This is a good fight for complexity so far. Now Sumail might get dropped next as well. Adaptive Strike, one more auto attack, and it's going to be 3 dead for EG. And they will hold for complexity. Barely, but they will hold.
All right. They did it.
They need that like times 1,000. Yeah.
Jesus. That's rough.
Yeah, I mean.
No, but in all seriousness, Shaker got 1,000 gold off that team fight. 1 more, and he has a Blink Dagger. There's hope. It's not completely over, right? Now there's no Aegis that they have to fight into as well. Sure, EG have a lot of gold to spend, but it's something.
Yeah. If they can get this tier 1, maybe things start going back in their favor. I mean, Chessie does have a lot of farm. He is building the Ethereal Blade.
Yep. It's a lot of time for them to keep farming as well.
Yeah.
It was a very nice teamfight execution. They played the fight very well.
This game's not over yet.
No, definitely not. It's only 1 Rax block. Come on.
Yeah, melee Rax, not even the full set, which is a big deal.
Where's your inner complexity fan? Bring him out.
I'm trying. I think that it's definitely a possibility. They're playing. I mean, the last team fight was really well done. It's just the lane phase was really rough. So they were in a disadvantageous position for so long.
We see Queen of Pain still trying to play catch up as well. She just finishes Orchid, which isn't that bad of a timing, honestly, but it's just not ideal because SF is so far ahead.
Right, that's the issue. It would be fine if Limp and the SF were sort of similar in net worth, but that's not the case at all. Shadow Fiend is not doubling him yet, but he's getting to that point in terms of net worth.
And at least Cole, they do play very well as a team. Like, they're making plays to accelerate Shaker's farm to Blink Dagger. Like, Moo's axing the waves, so Swindle can last at everything with Fissure to help him get the Blink Dagger, but EG, they're just going to run straight down mid, it looks like. Well, maybe not, actually.
They're trying to find a way in. They might find Z-Freak here. They'll see the Splinter Blast, whether or not they want to try to head in that direction. Looks like they will. RTZ will push the wave out real quick, and then they will get the tier 2 tower bottom. So Complexity get like 2 or 3 towers in the span of a few minutes there, which is pretty nice. Moo was building a Blink Dagger he had in his quick buy, decided against it, now goes instead into the Necro 2. So, all right. Oh, that's a Spirit Vessel for crit. That's
bottom tower is under attack.
yeah, that's pretty good.
Dire's top shrine is under
EG
attack.
taking over some map control. I'm pretty sure they're just going to wait for the next Roshan. They can start the spawn pretty soon and then close this game out pretty easily. Blink Dagger though for Earthshaker, very close.
Yeah, that's the big item.
Be the game changer.
Yeah, the Blink Echo. Getting to level 2 Echo Slam also will be pretty important as well.
Yep.
Then the next big timing for EG, potentially Roshan in 1 minute and 2 seconds. Just keep the waves pushed out. Also head to that tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. Try to take that objective. So you take all of the map control away from Complexity. We'll see if that's going to be the case.
Dire's top shrine is under
Sumail has
attack.
been spotted. There's a ward. Limp broke the smoke, actually, which was pretty well done. And then he blinks himself out of trouble. In the meantime, another TP completed, which was by Moo. He's back at home.
Dire's top
And EG,
shrine
they're not
is
able to
under
find
attack.
anybody with that smoke with the Sea Gang, so they're all going to head out and back to the base.
Yep, they know exactly what's going on now, and Chessie needs about 1,000 gold for his E-Blade. That could be it, honestly. The E-Blade and Blink Dagger coming in at the same time, but EG, they probably aren't going to let that happen. They're just running down lanes, forcing objectives.
You got to give it to Complexity. They've really brought this lead back. It's like only a 5,000 net worth advantage, where it was a 10,000 maybe a few minutes ago.
No, their gameplay after losing that mid-rack has been very, very good.
But it still will come down to that, perhaps that one high ground defense or that one Roshan contention.
Well, look at the setup. Melon's already placed the ward up on the high ground, so if EG do continue, they'll really see everything.
Dire's
Blink Dagger
bottom
picked up a
shrine is
Headshake,
under attack.
and the E-Blade is only a couple hundred gold away from Chessie.
Yeah, they would definitely want that item before they try to take a fight, but it's got to be close. They might continue to push high ground now if you're EG. They're going to take the shrines first, so this will give some more time for Complexity to get that Ethereal Blade. Chessie really wants this item. He's so close. He just needs 1 or 2 more
Dire's
camps.
bottom shrine has
And
fallen.
if you're EG, though, don't you think you might head to Roshan instead? You get some wards down and try to keep the waves pushed out and head to Rosh at this point?
For sure. They can run down a lane together, push Complexity back inside their base, and then fall back to set up around the Roshan pit. And then all of a sudden you're walking into the darkness trying to contest Roshan, see if they're there. And then that puts you in these awkward positions where it's easy to get flanked by the Ursa or the Axe.
They do have the Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker, though, so the Blink Echo Slam is available if they can get into the pit.
It's
And
level 1 though.
That's true. He's close, though. He's getting there. Maybe they need the tome. I don't know.
Oh, Hawk spots out Roshan.
They're going to go for a smoke, it looks like.
Your favorite creep, the Ogre Frostmage.
Yes.
Applying ice armor to everyone.
Maybe go Frost Mage is fabulous, let me tell you.
He's a jolly dude.
Yeah, he's just throwing out those ice armors. He won't spike Complexity because, of course, he can't break the smoke, but he knows they're missing from this jungle. Where are they?
It's only Ursa doing the Rosh though.
What's going on?
They don't want to walk into the pit because that'll
They
set
see
themselves
fear
up
now.
for an
Chessie's smoke is broken. There's the Echo Slam in
Echo.
the back lines. That hits onto 2. The fish along with the waveform. Sonic Wave. That's the combo they've been looking for. Complexity will take a 2-0 advantage in this fight, and they're going to try to find more. Potentially Roshan. And now if you're EG, you have to regroup and get back again. Sumail has the blink call. They might want to go for this
20 seconds
3
to respawn.
versus 5. There are a lot of creeps in that Roche pit. Sumail has been spotted, though, by Z-Freak, the Arctic Burn. Blink now put on cooldown. He also has a Yule Scepter. Roche is getting lower and lower, and it doesn't look like EG are going to be able to contest this. In Complexity, a great team fight, a great Echo Slam from Kyle turns it around. And now things are even up, even a little more up here as they'll drop it back down to about a 5,000 net worth deficit for them.
Very nicely done. We've got a real game now, Moth. This game is evening up nicely, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they still Arteezy is still the big issue. He has 16,000 net worth, but this Ethereal Blade from Morphling is going to make the lives of the supports pretty miserable for EG. They're going to get blown up. There's already a lot of damage from Chessie in terms of auto attack damage.
We also have no BKBs coming out on the side of EG. I guess the Axe is actually pretty good here for Ursa because he can break the stuns from the Roar and Earthshaker stuff, so he can just tank the damage that way.
Yeah.
But SF went for Lincoln Sphere instead of BKB. It could come back to bite him later on.
Yeah, I think so. With the Earthshaker starting to do some serious work here, it could get a lot harder for EG in the near future. And they've taken all the outer towers. They've taken a tier 3 and the melee racks.
Up top, Z3, he's probably going to die
I think
in like 2 minutes.
Oh, he gets the first dash too. That's not even fair. He couldn't even get the glimmer off before he died.
Dire's top shrine
life's
is
not.
under attack.
That's true. Fear will secure the kill. He's very close to his Aghanim Scepter. He's sitting about 600 away. He will Helm of the Dom the Siege Creep yet again. They might try to do something here. I mean, they would be fighting into Aegis and Cheese. Who took the Cheese and Aegis, by the way? Cheese is on Limp, Aegis is on Jesse. Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
Haste.
So we'll see. I mean, I guess you just farm if you're EG for another 5 minutes, wait out the Aegis, try to do something then. But this is 5 more minutes for Complexity to get their own farm back and get Chessie some more items here, like the Scotty that he's building into next.
I don't think they'll sit back and farm for 5 minutes. They might not be able to make anything happen, but they'll probably still try to push these lanes out aggressively. Set up on the side lanes like Fear was throwing up top, looking for the Wyvern. If they can find a key hero like the Earthshaker or even burst the Queen of Pain before Cheese comes out, Beastmaster, one of these key heroes, then maybe they can make something happen afterwards. But
it's going to be a lot harder to do that on the Limp now, as he has the BKB ready to go. He's literally 5 gold away from it, and with that, that's going to be a huge upgrade for him. So
he's made a swift recovery back into this game.
I mean, it was a disastrous mid lane, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it was like down like 30 to 5 or something ridiculous like that.
It's the start that mid laners, it's their biggest nightmare.
Yeah,
playing
they
Queen of
tried.
Pain.
That is for
Snowball
sure.
hero, very early game centric in terms of being able to apply lane pressure, and then just unable to happen.
Yeah, I mean, he had help. RTZ did anyway. And the Wish Factor crit babysitting him. There's the Aghanim Scepter now done for the Ursa. And we have an aggressive position for Misery. I mean, he's all the way in there trying to get some vision down. And he has placed a ward up under the Uber Cliff. And Complexity, they're looking for a Smoke of Deceit. It seems like EG are ready for this. They're back inside their base. A ward was dropped down along with the sentry by Z-Freak, which was not spotted. And instead, they will move into the tier 2 tower. They know that there's people behind Chessie for sure, absolutely, but I don't think they can take this fight into the Aegis. They'll break the Lincoln Sphere as they have Battle Hunger at the ready. They're trying to split push with Artesia as well as Misery, and it's working, but they're going to lose their tier 2.
High ground is still difficult.
Oh, they've got the call. Chessie, can they pull him back? Just a little bit, but where's the follow-up? They need Misery there. Spike Carapace, Impale, anything. He had to TP back. They're still trying to chase. Misery has blinked up, spotted him, Impale. They have the Battle Hunger. Eul Scepter will go through. Battle Hunger breaks the Lincoln Sphere. The call will come out. Nicely done, but he is strength morphed at this time. Now Sumail needs to be careful. In fact, he might just get caught and killed here. He's in the death zone at this point. He's right in the middle of the corner.
No damage at all.
Yeah, they're trying to fight though. He'll blink himself out of trouble here. It looks like they get off the Cold Embrace to save Chessie's life, but a good blink back from Sumail to keep himself out of trouble after the call came through.
It's so sad when you get called when you're morphing to strength, and then you have no damage, and you get stunned again, and you're sitting there attacking for 10 seconds with no damage, and you can't morph because you're stunned, or you're like, you're taunted or whatever. It's just so weird.
That was like the most awkward engagement ever.
Yeah.
Neither of them could do damage to each other. They're just sitting in this corner fighting and just like hitting each other and doing no damage.
Yep. EG was trying to make something happen because they saw Limp in the base, but at the same time, you can't commit too hard on the morphling like that. So
Right.
they're just trying to bait out the other heroes.
So there is a gem, by the way, on Moo. I don't know when they picked this up. He also has a Shadow Blade, surprisingly enough, too. He's doing pretty well in terms of net worth.
Yep. Swindle Mullins bought the gem a little while ago after he picked up his blink and set up that nice double kill with the Roshan pit.
So they were going to lose Aegis here in about 30 seconds for Chessie, and this is the timing window for EG. They're going to try to make a smoke happen. Of course, Complexity, they probably won't get caught out here. They're all playing together, pretty much sitting behind Chessie, making sure he's safe. He's already got plenty of HP in terms of his strength morph. Maybe they find somebody. Arteezy's close by. He has spotted Chessie. They're going to make a go potentially with a call. They need damage here, and the Arteezy will provide it.
He's still very hard to kill.
They're
on
just
the
going to back
morphling.
up.
Yep.
They say, screw this. This is not going to work out. Let's get out of here. Ooh. And Complexity continue to survive. They have kind of plateaued this net worth deficit to 5K.
They've made a very nice comeback after
Yeah.
losing the mid-rack super early on into this game.
And it all comes down to that team fighting they've had with the Echo Slam on it too, Fisher into Sonic Wave. More than enough damage to get those 2 kills, and then that kind of gets them back into the game because they secure Roshan. And from there, they get some more room to work with. But now the question is, what does EG do other than keeping the wave switch out, which is what they've been doing for the past 5 to 10 minutes.
Well, maybe this is what they need. Smil picked up an Invis rune. He's
He
gonna
has
walk
found
into
Moo.
the gem. Yep, they know he's there.
Yeah, so... And Misery's nearby as well. He's also indebted. Moo's maybe looking for a target. The rest of Complexity are actually on their way for the most part, although Chessie's just farming and... Yeah, maybe not. Cal's down bottom.
It's been so hard for EG to find picks on the sidelines because of the Beastmaster
Dire's
push out
courier
these lanes
has
from
been
far away
killed.
pretty safely too. Which makes it so difficult. But speaking of Beastmaster, Sumail is behind them. Do they know though?
I don't believe so. I think Moo hasn't spotted him yet. They got the courier, and Misery TB'd out in the meantime while that was all happening. And Sumail will not spot Moo, nor will they spot each other. Moo will not see Sumail, and they're not going to be concerned. They'll just continue to keep these waves pushed out, continue to get more farm for all these heroes. What are the big items we're looking for some of these heroes? We have a BKB now on our TV, so we thought that might be an issue, but he does end up picking up that item.
Yeah, with BKB and Lincoln's now, he can just ignore the Roar or the Winter's Curse, one of these abilities.
He's very tanky as well.
Yep.
23 armor along with it. Butterfly, of course, so he has Invasion to work with on top of all of that. Defensively, Arteezy, it's going to be tough for them to kill him. And Fear is not too easy to kill either, considering he has an Aghanim set at this point. So.
Yeah, he's super good against this Beastmaster.
Radiant are scanning.
And even the Shaker combo. You can't get chain stun. Well, you can get chain stun. You'll block all the damage.
Blade Mail, Chessie's been caught. There's the Impale. They've broken the Lincoln Sphere, but again, they just don't do any damage at this point. No spins coming out from Sumail. There's the Adaptive Strike to cast. Lim gets a kill on the other side onto Arteezy. They're fighting in the back lines, and they will actually secure a 1-for-1 trade. They will drop the gem. Fear's trying to chase Kyle down. At this point, he's not being raised to the Aghanim stuff are going to work. Kyle has another Fisher. Winter's Curse in the back lines. Chessie coming in with a waveform. They're going to get this kill onto Fear, about to drop down. One more auto attack, and Limp will secure a double kill. Not only that, they might find Misery as well as Nick's assassin as they caught out there. The enchant totem. They blow him away with the Scream of Pain, and all of a sudden, Fear are feeding one by one. And EG Sumail, he's got Tor now. Limp pops the BKB. We'll get the call off. Sumail is going to yield himself up. Gets dropped back down. Fisher waveform, and a fourth kill for Complexity. And all of a sudden, they almost wipe EG in that fight where it was split into two for the majority of it.
This game's all Complexity now. They managed to catch out the Shadow Fiend. Earthshaker caught him on the back lines and they exploded him. This game's insane. What's going on?
That was beautifully separated, making sure they have two different sides of the fight. They didn't. Arteezy is a lot of that damage. Maybe if they have him there, they kill Chessie, but he was dealing with the axe, making sure they couldn't get involved. And all of a sudden, they're pushing this tier 3 tower. You have buyback on Fear. Arteezy's back up in 10. They might just lose this tier 3, and then Complexity can back up, but they will still lose the tier 3 at the very least. They may lose more depending on how long Complexity wants to stay, but they will in fact back up, not trying to get too much. They want to go to the shrines next as well. And they've pretty much evened it up. In terms of the numbers, the net worth is continuing to drop, and it probably will be in favor of Complexity after the shrine is dead.
Yep.
That is insane. Complexity have brought this back from a 10K net worth deficit, and now they are doing some serious work, especially with Chessie having Scotty. And next Roshan is up in 15 seconds, Brax.
Oh boy, and they have the Beastmaster Hawk advantage to just keep in the Roshan pit, waiting for it to spawn. Honestly, that's doing a lot of work this game. The Hawk giving them vision, the random Shadow Blades, and invisibility. Heroes just running around giving vision. It's when it gets to this stage of the game, it's so hard to play against Beastmaster, just because it helps him find the catches better.
And Beastmaster Move has made some furtive moves, making sure they can get some vision all across the map.
They're forcing a Roshan.
They have a DD on Arteezy. This might be their best opportunity. They have been scanned, and Complexity are in the area, but EG are not going to commit too hard for this Roshan. Maybe they smoke, and they will.
Yep, there it is.
Trying to make a move either into the pit or for a kill. And they've spotted Limp. He's back in the base. The rest of Complexity.
Okay, this is nice. They're just going to run straight down mid and camp whoever tries to clear these creeps, because they probably think that they're just around the Roshan pit. But of course, there is a Hawk. So
there's a Hawk, so they know that. I mean, Complexity are very scared at this point. There's a lot of them sitting in the trees.
Yep.
They're not even going to show for this creep wave.
Well, they're actually going straight to Roshan now, because two of
everybody's keeping back. And they still have this DD for a moment longer here for Arteezy.
It might just
actually ran out. And this thing will still die quickly. With Fear and Arteezy, this thing is going to get dropped very fast. Enrage comes out. Complexity are on their way. They have the Winter's Curse. They have all of their abilities. This is a big fight because, like you mentioned, the Refresher Shard is there. Misery will go for the Impale of Vine of the Glimmer Cape. They'll drop the Sentry down. Roche is low. Is it dead yet? They'll jump and lift. Looking to find it. Arteezy gets the Aegis. There's the Echo Slam onto 3. The Requiem coming out. Chessie waveforming, doing some serious damage. Sonic Wave onto 2. The Death Ward. Arteezy still fighting fit. They're going to find Chessie. They get off the Cold Embrace in time. A double kill for Arteezy. Winter's Curse comes out. Fear might fall, but he's so tanky. He's not doing enough damage. Arteezy will finally drop his own teammate down. It's a 4-for-2 trade. Complexity are actually winning this fight somehow. Arteezy's going to to die twice, potentially. Moo, no roar. Aegis is now gone. They have the gem on the deck. They're going to try to find him. Limp a little bit low. He has to blink himself out. Orchid it up, getting dropped. Moo doing some serious damage along with Z-Freak. They're going to work. They need this kill. Arteezy will take one, and he's standing his ground. But it will still be a team wipe. Plus Aegis gone for Evil Geniuses. And Complexity somehow taking that fight with a huge Echo Slam Sonic Wave, despite not having Chessie for the majority of the engagement.
Now Complexity are leading in gold. Jesus.
Yeah.
What happened to the refresher shot?
I have no idea. Somebody has, and I'm
There
sure.
are a bunch of things flying around. I don't know what happened, but
Where's the courier?
Dire's bottom
Is anything?
tower is
There's a
under
gem
attack.
on the Dire courier. Radiant courier has nothing. Did the refresher just like get used or something in that fight?
used
It
or
must have
killed.
been.
I'm not sure which one,
Radiant
but
If I knew-
everything is gone.
I want to check the combat log, but that's not gonna. I'm not gonna do that. That's a little too much. And Cheese is gone, Aegis is gone, Refresher Shard is gone.
Everything's
That is insane. That is a fight that happened around the Roche pit, and all three of Roche's items were used in that engagement. Which makes sense, though. I mean, you have like these big cooldown heroes on Complexity side with like Winter's Curse or Echo Slam. It's important to get that shard. And if you're trying to survive, using the cheese is a big deal. So, I mean, it makes sense that it happened in that fight, which was a bloodbath, by the way. I mean, it was nuts.
Yeah, again, the Shaker initiation in the fight just destroying. It was a good counter initiation from the Axe and everything, but honestly, it's not enough, especially when you spend your BKB duration sitting there hitting Roshan, right? You're going to get kited, you're going to die twice. And honestly, these core heroes on the side of Complexity, they don't really die. Morphling, super tanky, Queen of Pain. Same thing, very difficult to take down.
They almost had him even earlier in that fight. Like, Chessie is so tough to take down, and then he got cold embraced, and it made it even harder to kill him. But they did put a lot of damage on him from Arteezy and Fear. They focused him down at as hard as they possibly could. But now the issue is that Limp is actually doing some serious work in this
Feels like a
game.
real hero in this game, though.
17,000 net worth. He is now ahead of Fear. He had, again, one of the roughest mid lanes I've seen against both Arteezy and Crit, of course, on the Shadow Fiend and on the Witch Doctor, respectively. He had like 5 last hits to 30 was the CS score at that point of the game. And now he has a PKB, he's got an AC, he's working on, of course, the Maelstrom into Mjolnir, potentially already has the Orchid. I mean, he's got everything he needs for these team fights now. And he's also level 23, getting very close to that level 25 talent, the Fear, if he wants to get it, or the Spell Block.
Yep, feels like Complexity's game now. They're the ones that are out pushing, and EG are the ones that have to play. Very scared. Look at the warding from Complexity, too.
So here's the issue with Complexity winning that fight.
Okay.
If they win it 3 versus 5, they take the Aegis, but they don't get the Aegis, they don't get the cheese, they don't get the Refresher Shard. If they get those things, they can try to push and maybe try to win the game. Do you think you have to wait now for Complexity, or could you potentially just try to keep the waves pushed out and go for a tier 3 push at some point?
I feel like they're in no rush to end this game at all. They are the ones that scale harder. They'll always have the advantage of being able to start these fights before BKBs go up just because of the Earthshaker factor.
Right.
He can always lead with the Fissure, then blink in an Echo Slam, so you can burst heroes like Shadow Fiend. And it's going to be a problem the entire game for SF. There's no real way to itemize against it. It's just about getting tanky enough and having vision on these heroes before they come in. But then the playing the Beastmaster gives you vision for that purpose, exactly. So I could put this mid.
This is a problem for Fear. They missed the Fissure, though. Adaptive Strike, there's the Enrage. Scotty's slowed down, though. He might be in trouble. Echo Slam keeping him in place now. On the other side, Limp's getting caught out. There's the Abyssal Blade. Ethereal Blade comes out and blows up Fear. And now Arteezy is going to be next. The BKB will not save him. The Roar came out afterwards, and that is too much. 3 dead. Crit now on the run. Kyle has no Fissure. He just used it. Limp ready to go with another Shadow Strike. Crit actually jukes up to the high ground. They won't find him. Nice juke play there, but the problem is Fear, no buyback. He's dead for 63. Arteezy has one. He doesn't want to have to use it, but he almost certainly will. Otherwise, this game will end. And in fact, the game might just be over all right now because of that last fight, which was
It honestly
insane.
might be. Shadow Fiend buyback's not the strongest. He has to recoup his souls afterwards.
And they get Crit on top of it. He's dead for 53. No buyback available. Chessie will grab the rack. They'll grab the tier 3 tower in the bottom lane. Complexity. It looks like they might have done it. They might have brought this game back from a 10K deficit. Now up 5K, but more importantly, up Mega Creeps, it looks like, potentially. Sumail will take down 1. That is Chessie getting dropped. That is actually big. They might keep this alive for now. They might keep their racks in the mid lane also secure. Limp looking for Sumail. There's the Yule Scepter, avoids the Shadow Strike. Z-Freak is really low. He's trying to fight at this point. Does he have the Arctic Burden? No. 5 seconds. Limp continues to jump in. Sumail in trouble. He's going to go down to the Soul Burn. Misery is going to be next. He'll have to use his Vendetta. Limp has to bring himself out of trouble. Z-Freak, they might have spotted him in the tree line. He's going to go for the Cold Embrace and the Spirit Vessel. Getting raised twice. There's the Impale. A triple raise plus an auto attack. That will secure another kill. And Complexity, so close to taking Megas, but they get dropped on Chessie, one of the most important heroes. He dies solo to Sumail.
I was actually very surprised they're able to take down the Morphling there so quickly. I guess it makes sense with the Blade Mail and everything, but I'm just so used to seeing this hero not die in disables.
He's still tanky, but they are shredding him. They have the damage, especially with Blade Mail.
There's a lot of gold on the side of Complexity to spend now. They all have like half an item.
What is everybody buying? Yule Scepter's already up for Earthshaker. He's had that for a while. Looks like he's going Shadowblade next. Interesting. Alright. There's a lot of interesting items here. Nullifier for the Wyvern.
Yep.
This is...
Can't wait to see that. I feel like he'll never get it, though.
No. We'll see. He may get there if this game somehow goes long enough.
Yeah, this game's not over yet at all. Shadow Fiend hit is 25 Power Spike plus 3 damage per soul. So he gets 180 bonus damage from the souls.
He's also going Bloodthorn, too. He knows he needs more damage.
Yep. It's actually a good way to deal with the Morphling. He has no BKB. He's working on it now, but doesn't have it quite yet.
I like him going for the Halberd. This makes sense.
It's very nice. A lot of these fights come down to just baiting out these... you have to survive as long as possible with heroes like Morphling and Queen of Pain, right? So you can get in, get out. And then heroes like SF rely on the BKB to be able to stand and fight against heroes like the Earthshaker. So, it is nice. You just gotta tank up, make these fights last as long as possible, and then eventually cast your spells on them again after BKBs are down. And then the fight's easy.
Yeah. It's wearing the other team out, essentially.
Yep. Have to last through the BKB and the rage meter, so they got
Yeah.
nothing.
I mean, even with those, he dies quickly. This is a problem. He has no buyback. He is going to get roared, and that might just be the end of the game. Just like that. That is
Just
insane.
gonna run down it. Yep, there's the pink arrow.
He's drawn it. Let's go. It's time to finish this game off. Kyle is happy. They've taken down Arteezy dead for 100 seconds. Of course, no buyback as he just used it. The only play for EG now is they're going to try to split and go for this Rax in the bottom lane potentially. They could come back and try to defend, but they're defending 4 versus 5, and that's exactly what they're going to do.
Because they won't win the race.
They need a big call. They need something big. I'm not sure what it's going to be.
Maybe
They're going to try to find something here with Sumail. He'll jump in. There's the call. They want to get this kill. Chessie alive for now. Good call to brace the Sonic Wave coming out. Fear is alive. He's doing fine. Going to get off the Winter's Curse. That'll be on to Nyx Assassin. Misery. Fear, his Enrage is done now. No BKB the waveform. They're going to drop him dead for 85. They just bought back on Sumail, but everybody else is dead. It's 4 for nothing here for Complexity. And it is GG called. And Complexity with an amazing comeback here in the second game of the day. They will move on. They will play up against OG in the upper bracket finals of the group stages.
That was extremely well played from Complexity. EG, their early game was so good, but they were unable to close out the game. They fed a little bit too much on the high ground after they took the mid-racks, and then all of a sudden Shaker went from 200 gold to a Blink Dagger within like 3 minutes. Crazy comeback.
Some very well played team fights for Complexity. A lot of composure. I mean, the laning stage was almost an unmitigated disaster for Complexity. They didn't get anything out of Limp. They didn't get anything out of Moo either. Chessie had some okay farm, but they were able to transition into that mid to late game, have a couple of good team fights. The fight around Roche where they got the 2-man Echo Slam, and then they took the Aegis, changed the complexion of that game completely, and it allowed Complexity to get back